All right, hey everyone, get ready because today we are going deep on Xiaomi.
Xiaomi.
Yeah, Xiaomi.
Cool.
You probably know them for their awesome budget phones.
Yeah.
But there's way more to this company.
Right.
They're aiming to be like the next big global tech giant.
Global domination.
Exactly, global domination.
That's their plan.
And we're going to break down how they think they're going to do it.
Ambitious.
Very ambitious, based on this article.
Oh, what's the article called?
It's called Xiaomi's Bold Vision. Can its CEO lead the brand to global domination?
Interesting title.
So some big questions we're going to try to answer today.
Okay, shoot.
Like, how did they just totally disrupt the smartphone market
Yeah, how did they do that?
with those crazy low prices?
Right, because they were known for that.
And can their CEO, Lei Jun, I think they call him China's Steve Jobs,
I've heard that, yeah.
can he actually lead them to, like, dominate the global tech scene?
Big shoes to fill.
Huge shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And what challenges are they facing, because pushing into this premium market.
Right, they're not just budget anymore.
And they've got all these geopolitical hurdles they've got to deal with.
Definitely a lot to unpack there.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Xiaomi's rise was like meteoric, right?
Absolutely. I mean, they came out of nowhere in 2010.
It was like boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
And their strategy, just brilliant.
Offering high quality smartphones.
But at like almost cost.
Yeah, crazy low prices.
It was unheard of at the time.
And it was Lei Jun's vision, right?
Oh, absolutely. He was the driving force.
That kind of like Steve Jobs-ian, innovative.
Yeah, that laser focus, on the user experience
Exactly.
and building a really strong brand identity.
But they didn't stop at just phones, right?
No, they went way beyond
This whole ecosystem.
the whole ecosystem. Yeah, smart
For
devices.
smart homes, wearables, they even have those electric scooters.
Scooters. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, and the numbers show it, right? By 2021, they were the world's second largest smartphone maker.
Number 2,
Even beating Apple for a bit.
for a hot minute. Yeah.
Wild. But here's the thing.
What's that?
They don't want to just be the budget phone kings anymore.
Right, they're aiming higher.
They're going after that premium market.
The big leagues.
It's like directly challenging Apple and Samsung.
Head to head.
Yeah, I mean, think about their newer phones, like the Xiaomi 13.
And the 13 Pro.
Yeah, 13 Pro, packed with all the top-of-the-line features.
They're not messing around.
No, they're going straight for those high-end customers.
It's a bold move for sure.
It is, because it's risky, right?
Definitely risky.
They could lose those loyal customers.
Yeah, the ones who love them for their affordability.
Exactly, but if they pull it off,
If it works, man,
it could totally change the game.
they could be making way more money.
And solidify them as, like, a true global tech leader.
A force to be reckoned with.
But Lei Jun seems like he's all in on this, right?
Oh yeah, he's pouring resources into R&D.
Especially in AI, 5G.
Autonomous driving even.
Yeah, self-driving cars.
He's thinking big picture.
He wants them to be a leader in this whole AIoT space.
AIoT, that's the future.
Wait, hold on.
AIoT.
AIoT, gotta break that down.
Oh, right. Yeah. Not everyone knows all the tech jargon.
I'm lost.
Okay, so imagine, like, your home is smart,
Smart home.
but it's, like, really smart.
Okay.
Like, it knows what you want.
Knows what I want. How?
The lights adjust as you move around.
Oh, that's cool.
Your coffee starts brewing when you wake up.
Now you're talking.
All your devices talking to each other.
Like a little family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Learning your preferences.
So it's like personalized.
Super personalized, making your life easier.
That sounds pretty awesome.
That's the potential of AIoT.
AIoT, so Xiaomi wants to be like
The brains behind it all.
brains of the operation.
Yeah, not just making gadgets.
But like shaping how we live.
Exactly. The connected future, that's their goal.
That's a pretty big vision though, right?
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
I mean, a company with ambitions this big.
You got to figure there's some challenges.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
I mean, one of the big ones
Yeah.
is breaking into those emerging markets
Like, where are we talking?
like India, Southeast Asia, Africa.
Places where maybe people don't have as much money to spend.
Yeah, price-sensitive markets.
But they've been super successful there.
Yeah, incredibly successful, especially in India.
They dominate in India.
They're like the top dog there consistently.
How'd they do that? Was it just the low prices?
Well, price was definitely a factor,
Right.
but they were also really smart about it.
Smart how?
They didn't just try to sell a Western product.
Like force it on people.
Yeah, they actually adapted to the local cultures.
Oh, interesting.
They partnered with those big e-commerce companies.
To get their product out there.
Exactly, reach a wider audience.
Makes sense.
And their marketing, it was tailored,
To each region.
to each region, yeah.
You hear so many stories about like Western companies
Yeah.
trying to just push their product.
And it fails miserably.
Yeah, they fail, but Xiaomi, they figured it out.
They cracked a code.
Global, but still local.
But global but local. Yeah, it's a tough balance.
But even though they've had all this success, they've had some bumps, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they faced some scrutiny in India.
Scrutiny what kind?
Regulatory stuff,
Mhm.
accusations of tax evasion,
Oh, wow.
money laundering even.
Really?
But they denied it all, of course.
I mean, it makes sense, though.
How so?
Going global isn't just about having great products.
That's a whole different ball game.
It's about the laws, the politics,
It's a complex landscape.
lots of moving parts.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
And then there's the U.S.
The U.S., yeah.
That's a whole other beast, right?
a whole other beast.
I mean, the U.S. is known for being tough on foreign tech.
Especially Chinese companies.
So what kind of problems have they had here?
Well, you've got Apple and Samsung.
Yeah, the big guys.
Fierce competition,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
But then you add the whole geopolitical situation.
U.S. and China.
U.S. and China, yeah. Adds a whole other layer.
Tricky.
Very tricky.
What else?
Accusations of data privacy violations.
Oh, yeah, you hear that a lot.
Happens to a lot of Chinese tech companies here.
But Xiaomi denies it, right?
Oh, yeah, they deny any wrongdoing.
I mean, it's almost like a double standard.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, data privacy is important, for sure.
Of course, it's a big deal.
But it feels like they get extra scrutiny.
Just because they're Chinese?
Yeah, it's a tough spot for them.
Trying to build trust?
But also dealing with all this suspicion.
Yeah, it's a tightrope walk, for sure.
So even with all that, they're doing pretty well in Europe, right?
They are, actually.
Third largest smartphone brand there.
Third largest, not bad.
Seems like that quality and affordability combo
Works everywhere.
works everywhere.
Europeans love a good deal, too.
Makes sense. And they're not just doing phones in Europe either, right?
No, they're going all in on AIoT there, too.
Really?
Yeah. Smart TVs, fitness trackers
They're replicating that playbook.
from other regions.
It's working.
It needs to be.
So it's clear Xiaomi's in it for the long haul.
Oh, yeah. They're playing the long game.
They're not afraid to try new things.
Experiment, adapt, push the boundaries.
That's what it takes.
But we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot more to talk about,
We've got to dive into their plans for the future.
including their whole electric vehicle thing.
That's going to be interesting.
So stick around for part 2.
You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Welcome back. So before we get into what Xiaomi's got planned for the future,
Yeah.
let's take a step back for a second
Okay.
and think about, what their story tells us about the tech world, how it's changing.
Oh, it's a good point.
It's not just about Xiaomi.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that.
Like a shift in power.
Exactly, like Silicon Valley.
Used to be the center of everything.
The only place for innovation.
But Xiaomi's showing us.
That's not true anymore.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah, groundbreaking stuff.
Global success.
It can come from anywhere.
We're seeing these emerging economies.
Becoming the new hotbeds for innovation.
It's exciting.
It is. They're challenging the old guard.
And rewriting the rules. It's like everyone's on a level playing field now.
Exactly.
And what's really interesting,
What's that?
they're not just copying the West.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing.
They're focused on what their local markets need.
That's key. And that brings us to
What?
a big lesson from Xiaomi. Localization. They get it.
Localization?
Yeah, they didn't try to force their product.
On people who didn't want it.
Exactly. They
To
adapted
different cultures.
cultures, preferences, everything.
Like in India.
Oh, perfect example.
They were super successful there.
Huge.
But they didn't just show up with a cheap phone.
No, they were smarter than that.
So what did they do?
They built relationships.
Hmm.
Local partners. They got their marketing right.
Yeah.
To Indian tastes and even the product itself.
They changed the product.
Tweaked it. Yeah, to fit what people wanted.
It's so interesting.
You know how many Western companies mess that up?
Oh, I'm sure. They just assume everyone wants the same thing.
Exactly. And it backfires.
Xiaomi, they figured it out.
They get it.
You have to understand those nuances.
The cultural stuff.
The laws.
The needs of each market.
It's a lot to juggle.
It is, but it's crucial.
If you want to go global.
That's the key.
And like we said earlier,
Yeah.
India wasn't all smooth sailing.
No, they had those regulatory hurdles.
It's accusations.
Yeah, financial stuff.
But they denied it.
They did.
Still, it shows you
What does it show you?
global expansion, it's complicated.
More than just making money.
You have to follow the rules.
Respect the culture.
Build trust with everyone.
Governments, consumers, everyone.
And of course, we got to talk about
What's that?
data privacy.
Oh, yeah, the big one.
It's a huge issue, especially as Xiaomi
It grows.
gets bigger globally.
There's more scrutiny.
on how they handle our data.
Especially with,
All the data breaches.
and government surveillance and all that.
Xiaomi says they're not doing anything wrong.
They deny it, yeah.
But people are worried.
Of course. It's a valid concern.
People are more aware now
Than ever before.
about how companies use their data,
And they want to know.
that it's being handled responsibly.
Transparency is key.
Yeah, and being responsible with the data.
If they want people to trust them.
It's not just about checking boxes.
No, it's got to be built into the company culture.
From the beginning.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's switch gears for a sec.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Lei Jun's vision for the future.
Ah, yes, his big plans.
He wants to make Xiaomi
More than just a device maker.
an AIoT powerhouse.
The whole ecosystem, all connected.
It's not just about the phone anymore.
No, it's about everything.
Smart homes, cars, even cities.
It's like the whole world connected
Technology knowing what we need.
before we even know it.
It's a big vision.
It is, but it raises some questions.
Like what?
How are they going to stand out?
In the AIoT market,
It's crowded out there.
so many companies.
Big ones, small ones.
All fighting for the same thing.
What makes Xiaomi different?
They're going to have to leverage what they're good at.
Their hardware, their pricing,
That massive user base they have.
find their niche.
And then there's the electric vehicle thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other level.
That's a huge undertaking.
Massive investment.
Steep learning curve.
And so much competition.
Tesla, all the big car companies.
Do they have what it takes?
I mean, they've surprised us before.
True, when they started with smartphones,
No one thought they'd make it.
they were the underdog.
And they totally disrupted the market.
They did. They became a global force.
Faster than anyone expected.
So maybe we shouldn't underestimate them.
They adapt, they learn,
They innovate.
even with all the challenges.
They've got a good track record.
But AIoT, EVs,
It's a different game.
success isn't guaranteed.
Not at all.
Which is why what Lei Jun said to his employees about focusing on the long term,
Yeah, having that long-term vision.
building a culture of innovation.
And being resilient
That's going to be key
to navigate the uncertainty.
and achieve their vision.
Yeah, it's a tough road ahead.
But it makes you think, right?
What do you mean?
As consumers,
Yeah,
how should we think about Xiaomi?
as they get bigger.
What does it mean for us?
It's a good question.
There are implications.
For our digital lives,
Data privacy,
ethical AI,
all these new technologies.
it's a lot to consider.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive.
We're wrapping things up today.
We've been talking about Xiaomi.
Their whole journey
From budget phone disruptor,
to this global powerhouse,
they've got ambitions beyond just smartphones.
way beyond.
But in this last part,
Yeah,
we want to shift the focus to you guys.
the listeners.
Because Xiaomi's story,
It's not just about one company.
it's about how technology is changing.
Business, society, everything.
It makes you think about the future.
Of innovation, for sure.
The role these emerging economies are playing.
They're shaping the tech world
And how tech is impacting our lives.
every day.
So let's start with innovation.
Okay.
Xiaomi's success.
It shows the power of disruption.
They took on this market.
Dominated by the big players.
Changed everything.
High quality.
Crazy affordable.
Bond was doing that.
They challenged the status quo.
Forced those giants to adapt.
And it benefited everyone.
Made tech more accessible.
It proves that innovation,
It doesn't just come from Silicon Valley.
it can come from anywhere.
Anyone with a good idea.
And the drive to make it happen,
It's inspiring.
especially for those in emerging markets,
Shows them it's possible.
to build global companies.
Outside the traditional hubs.
It's about finding those unmet needs,
Questioning the old ways.
coming up with creative solutions,
That work for everyone.
but disruptive innovation.
It's not just about the products.
It's about the whole business model.
Supply chains, even social norms.
Think about how Xiaomi sells directly to consumers.
Their partnerships with e-commerce platforms.
They built this community of fans,
It's a whole new way of doing things.
and it's forced other companies to change.
To keep up.
But now let's talk about the impact.
Of technology on society.
As Xiaomi gets into our homes,
Our cars, our cities.
with their AIoT ecosystem,
We have to think about the big picture.
on one hand, it's amazing,
All these smart devices.
making our lives easier.
More efficient, more enjoyable.
Imagine your home knowing what you need.
Your car driving itself.
Your city optimized for everyone. It sounds like sci-fi.
But it's becoming reality.
But we can't ignore the downsides.
Data privacy,
Algorithmic bias.
the power in the hands of a few companies.
These are real concerns.
We have to be aware.
As consumers, we need to be informed
About our data.
how it's collected, used, shared.
We need transparency.
Accountability from these companies.
And we need to be part of the conversation.
About AI ethics.
Responsible development of technology.
Well, what kind of future do we want?
It's up to us.
So as we wrap up our deep dive on Xiaomi,
Yeah.
we leave you with this question.
A big one.
What role do you want technology to play in your life?
Do you want to be fully connected?
Or prioritize privacy?
There are no easy answers.
The choices we make today
Will shape tomorrow.
So stay informed, stay engaged.
Stay curious.
The future of tech is being written now.
And we're all part of it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Xiaomi.
It's been a fascinating journey.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.
And keep pushing the boundaries.
And of what's possible.